I created a matrix that hopefully would help everyone in the summit. Just something you could do. On the left side of the paper, write down the trading style that you currently have, or maybe you're practicing. What does this demand in your time? How risky is this? What's a goal that realistically can reflect this? So, for example, if your goal is to become a full-time trader, or if your goal is to make 20% per year, is your trading style being able to reflect something like that? Or is 20% too high for it? If you're someone who's very, very risk averse, who would most probably just take trades once a month, once a month, and would most likely just hold whatever trades you've been having and sell it only when it's really falling down, then maybe 20% might be an okay. At bearish market it might not be. So does it reflect your goal, this trading style? What does this demand in your time? Like, if you're a busy person, can you actually trade the way you want it to be? And how risky is this per se? Contrast that with your current lifestyle. Does it fit your current lifestyle? Can you handle the kind of risk this trading style can give you? And when I'm saying risk, I'm talking about life situations. There are a lot of traders who would have a very, very risky trading style, but their life situation is pressuring them to be more conservative. So there is going to be a contrast there, and it's going to somehow one way or another sabotage the way they trade. They wouldn't be able to trade the way they were planning to because their current lifestyle is asking them to change it. And at the same time, just take note of your goal lifestyle as well. Because at one point, your current lifestyle may not be the same as your goal lifestyle. And if it does change at that point, which I believe everyone can get there, how can you shift your trading style to reflect that goal lifestyle as well? Here's a story. There's a really good trader that I coached in FTMO as well. And he used to work at the aviation industry. He was an engineer. And he was just really on the top of his game. He's good at what he does. But he's always known that it's not something he wanted to do for the rest of his life. When he was in the aviation, he was trading the forex markets, and he was consistently making 10% a week. That's a really good number. Consistently, 10% a week. So he's been doing this for a while, and he's just getting his confidence up. He's working on his job as an engineer, and he's coming home and trading the forex, making 10% a week. And then the pandemic came. He got he got redundant, and he started trading full time, which was okay because it was his goal anyway. But it just happened really quickly, way too fast. Um, Now the issue became when he was finally full time. It's the when he couldn't make as much gains as he did when he had a job. It can be a lot of things. It could be one. This time he has way too many hands, way too many time on his hands, and maybe this time he feels more pressured to make money. And the calm, confident, precise kind of trading does not come from pressure. It comes from trading out of abundance. So maybe it's from this lack that makes him trade this way. But my point is, even if his goal lifestyle was to become a full time trader, he was able to make it work and make good money because his trading style was fit for his busy lifestyle as a civil engineer. Now, there's a difference between his lifestyle back then and his lifestyle now, and he doesn't know how to make it work out yet. So, in a sense, it could happen to a lot of traders as well. That's why trading psychology is important. It's dynamic. The what you need right now might be different from what you will need in the future. You might not need help right now. You might be on top of the things right now. Life changes, life situation, life crisis will eventually make you need something, and it will reflect in your trading. So another thing that we have to talk about is that there is no right way to trade. There is no superior trader. There is no superior trading strategy. Anything, absolutely anything can work as long as you can systematically replicate it. If this is something you think you want to do for 10 to 20 years, then what you have to be working on in the beginning is a strategy you can replicate again and again and again. And there's such a thing as tactical cut for factors outside the strategy. So of course you have a strategy with all its risk management and stuff, but tactical cut is something that is more reserved to the psychological aspect of a trader. If life is really pressuring you right now, if you're too busy, if you don't think you'll be able to watch your holdings, then a tactical cut is something that you have to do, which is to sell your positions and wait until things are getting more stable. It's much harder to make money when you are forcing it. And even if you are present during good market conditions, if you're still forcing it, if you're not mentally ready for it, you're not going to make money anyway. So it's much better to enforce the tactical cut on this one, which is outside the strategy, but it's on the psychological aspect of trading. Now, trading psychology has guidelines, and I created this one. It's more like universal truths in it, assumptions, presuppositions, call it whatever you want, the theories revolving trading psychology. But once we discuss this, it will always be applicable because it's individualistic to everyone. There are universal factors that you have to know, and from there, we can plan on what works for you best. Knowing them will allow you to manipulate the situation where pressure exists to inspire you and not to crush you, which is a crucial difference. The first one is this: who you are as a person will reflect who you are as a trader. Top traders know this. They know that if they work on themselves and if they get to know themselves, it will spill over to their trading. Trading reveals your characteristics. An analytical person will trade entirely differently from someone who's more adaptive and intuitive. Someone who's analytical will need to consider every factor about the trade, and they have to understand their numbers and their variables in every time they enter a trade. An intuitive trader knows the guidelines of the trade. They have a feel on where they have to cut. They follow through with their plan, but they don't have it to the dot like analytical people do. It exposes your priorities as well. There are a lot of people who would say, I want to be a successful trader, but they don't really like the work involved with it. And it tests who you think you are with the real consequences. Now, how can we apply this? Think about it for a second. How have you always been when you tackle a certain obstacle? How have you always been when you tackle things outside of your control? Because trading is mostly about dancing with things you can't control. One of the things that has always been mind blowing to the traders I talk to is revenge trading. A lot of traders, especially in the firm, an FAMO, have a problem with jumping back to the market the moment they make a mistake. Everyone makes a mistake. I'd like everyone to understand that. It doesn't matter if you've been trading for 20 years, 60 years, you're a maximum funded trader, you're someone who's just barely scraping by with creating a fund for your trades. Everyone will still make a mistake. The issue is how well you jump back into it. But with professional traders, the problem that I see with them is once they realize they committed a mistake, they try to jump back way too fast because they want to fix what they just created. And people are thinking this is probably revenge trading, it's probably ego, but actually it's not. When I ask these traders, well, can I ask you, how do you fix problems? Like when a problem happens, when you just had a fight with your wife or with your girlfriend or someone in your family, if there's been a huge fight, how do you fix it? Do you run away from it for a while or do you try to fix it as soon as you can? And these traders start saying, well, I try to fix it as soon as I can because I want the problem to be solved. And I would say, Well, that's exactly what's happening to your trading. The moment you make a mistake in your trading and you realize it, say you cut the position, of course you realize it, you're thinking at that moment, I just made this mistake. I'm a money making machine. I know how to make money. Let me take responsibility of that and fix it. A lot of times people think they're being greedy when they're revenge trading. No, they're not being greedy. They're trying to be responsible. It's their mechanism of how they solve problems even outside their life, showing in their trading. Even if in real life you're the kind of person who solves things as soon as you can, in trading you would do the same. So when you see a mistake, you're gonna try to get back in the market and try to resolve that mistake, try to make back that money, trying to take responsibility for what you just did. So that's how you see traders who would probably cool off for a long time before they come back to the market. And there are traders who will try to jump back as soon as they can to fix the mistake they think they made.